Hi, folks. My name is Todd Crowley. I live up here in Corey, Pennsylvania, which is up in the northwest corner of the state. This time of year, it gets pretty daggone cold, lots of snow, and not much to do but hang out and play music, which isn't a bad thing. Um, I haven't done any recordings for Facebook. In fact, I've never tried to record myself. A couple of recordings on YouTube that people had done while I was performing at a festival or something, but um, I've got some ideas here that I want to share with you. I've been working this winter putting together some flat key auto harps. These are auto harps that are over yonder in the circle of fifths. We usually start on the auto harp, usually with the key of F, and we go through mainly sharp keys, G, D, A, sometimes E, and then we don't get to the other half of the circle unless we set up a special harp, either diatonic or a chromatic. Sometimes they're called hymnal harps because so many of the church hymns are written in flat keys for the organist, I guess. This one I set up to play in the keys of B flat, which is kind of a mystical key, but I'm not going to get into that today, and E flat. All the harps that I play nowadays have two keys on them. It's just the format that I've come to find most useful to me. So I go out to an open mic and I want to play 2, 3, 4 songs, and I don't want to do them all in the same key, but I don't want to bring extra harps. So 2 keys with the minors, so on, get me through an evening of music. This particular auto harp is an Oscar Schmidt, built in the USA. He's a pretty nice EBH natural, or 21 CR natural, meaning that there's a clear top on them, nice binding, same color on the back. I put a pickup in this harp, as you can see. Use these buck lumber chord bars and Oscar Schmidt fine tuners and flat mark strings, and you get a pretty nice instrument for not the same. I mean, you're going to get a great instrument if you buy a luthier harp, but you can get a really pretty good instrument if you take the time to set up an Oscar Schmidt. Anyway, the song I'm going to do for you is a Richard Thompson song. I would normally do it in the key of A, sometimes B, but normally A. And this harp is doing it in B flat. I'm able to do it in B flat. So sometimes there's an in-between key that you're not quite right over here in A, and B takes you up a little higher than you want to go, and you're missing that key that would work perfectly for you. In this case, it's B flat. I'd have to listen back to this compared to the A, whether I like singing up a half step here or not. But anyway, that's what I'm going to try to do. Vincent Black Lightning said, "Red Molly to James, that's a fine motorbike. Girl could feel special on any such light." Said James to Red Molly, "Well, my hat's off to you. It's a Vincent Black Lightning, 1952. And I've seen you on the corners and the cafes, it seems. Red hair, black leather, my favorite color scheme. Pulled her on behind, down to Foxhall they did ride. Said James to Red Molly, "Here's a ring for your right hand. But I tell you in earnest, I'm a dangerous man. I fought with the law since I was 17. I've robbed many men to get my Vincent machine. I've 21 years, I might make 22. I don't mind dying, but for the love of you. And if fate should break my stride, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Come down, Red Molly, cried Sergeant McCrae. We've taken young James 80 for armed robbery. Shotgun blast left the hole open wide. Come down, Red Molly, to his dying bedside. She came to the hospital, there wasn't much left. He was running out of road, he was running out of breath. Still he smiled to see her cry. Said, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Whispered James to Red Molly, there's nothing in this world beats a Vincent Black Lightning and a red-headed girl. Now your Nortons and Harleys and Triumphs won't do, 'cause they don't have the soul of a Vincent 52. He reached for her hands, he slipped her the keys. He said, I've got no further use for these. I see angels on aerials and leather and chrome, swooping down from heaven to carry me home. He gave her one last kiss and he died. And he gave her his Vincent to ride. Well, there's a Vincent Black Lightning done on auto harp, a little different than you'd hear it in the guitar or one of those bluegrass bands that likes to do that song at breakneck speed. I love the story of it. So part of interpreting a story is having chords that help you tell the story, and sometimes they get away from the straight 1-4-5. So I like having this. Here's your 1 chord, this is the B flat. If I go straight to the 4 chord, it would sound like this. B flat, E flat. But I also have right next to the E flat this E flat add 9, which has an extra note in it. It's a real floaty suspension kind of chord. Almost a pentatonic, but not quite. And it works for me in that song because there's so many unanswered questions. There's so many times where something is about to happen, you don't know what's going to happen next, and you just can't be chopping away at the chords and singing along without thinking about how the music and the lyric and the story are all interacting. Said Red Molly to James, that's a fine motorbike. Took her a lot of courage to approach that young man on his motorcycle. So we hang out here a little bit on this add 9 chord. A girl could feel special on any such light. Comes back to the 1 chord, resolves. Said James to Red Molly, my hat's off to you. He's paying her a compliment now. She's got to be feeling pretty good about that, because she knows her motorcycles. It's a Vincent Black Lightning 1952. So having these extra color chords are sometimes very useful. I put one minor seventh down here because there's a couple of songs where I use that, but mostly I like chords that are interchangeable. So the 4 chord is often interchangeable with the 4 add 9 for me. I wouldn't use the 1 add 9 so much, or the 5 add 9, but the 4 add 9 to me keeps you up there in suspense. Anyway, that's my attempt at doing a little auto harping with you today. We're here in the flat keys. I've got now a G flat, D flat, and a D flat, A flat, and an A flat, E flat. This is my E flat, B flat, and a B flat, F. That gets me through my flat keys, and then I come back to my FC, which is one of my main harps, but now I'm kind of experimenting with these other keys, which is okay if you play a solo. I get my group that likes to get together and play the guitar and all fiddle and all things together. I don't get out the flat harps too often, because unless I just want to sing a song for myself and for them without having everybody else participate. But check them out. And if you're interested, you can get a hold of me and I can teach you a little bit about how to set them up. Anyway, we'll call it a day here.